What is good, YouTube? Thank you guys for stopping in for another review. This is not your average sneakerhead, Tony Ramsey, and today we're taking a look at the Air Jordan 13 Hyper Royal in black. Now, before we jump into the review of this sneaker, if this is your first time here, thank you for watching. Also, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving this video a thumbs up, as that does help YouTube channels grow. We are extremely close to 1,000 subscribers, and once we hit 1K subs, we will be doing a 1K sub giveaway. And all you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is first be subscribed to the channel, then also leave some engagement down below. That could be a thumbs up, that could be a comment. That does help the channel grow and get to that 1K point a lot quicker. We should be there sometime next week, so hopefully we can get this giveaway out before the end of 2020. Once again, thank you guys all for joining the Not Your Average Sneakerhead family, watching my reviews. Really do appreciate all the support and look forward to bringing you guys more reviews and more videos going forward. Now, with that out of the way, let's go and take a look at this sneaker. So the Air Jordan 13 Hyper Royal released on, I want to say it was Saturday, December 19th. These had a retail price of $190. I was able to reserve mine at my local Foot Locker. Actually, it was pretty easy. I was able to get pairs at both Foot Locker, Champs, and Finish Line. Ended up getting some pairs for some friends to help them out. Got these in my true size from Foot Locker, and really happy to have these in hand, so I'll give you guys a quick review of them in case you are considering grabbing these on the aftermarket or for resale, or if there's any restocks, you guys can decide if you want to get these before that happens. But before we get into the review, first things first, let's take a look at the box. These do come in your standard silver box. You have the silver Jordan 13 box with the red Jumpman on the top. Very minimal branding on the boxes for Jordan 13s. No other branding on the box at all. Then you do have your sizing label, and it does read Air Jordan 13 Retro. The colorway is black, Hyper Royal, black and white. I got these in an 8.5, and they did have a retail price of $190. You guys can see the label there. Open up the box, standard white Jordan tissue paper, and you do have your sneakers under there. There also are not any other stamps or stickers inside of the box. Now let's look at the shoe. So if you have not been subscribed to my channel for quite some time, you will quickly learn that Jordan 13s are one of my favorite Jordan silhouettes. My actual favorite Jordan of all time, Jordan colorway of all time, is the Flint 13. That was the first Jordan I ever bought with my own money way back in 1998. And this one is actually very closely reminiscent of a Quentin Richardson Jordan PE from way back in his playing days with Orlando. And if you're not familiar with Quentin Richardson, he did play in the NBA for a number of years. He actually came in the NBA out of 1 year out of DePaul, and he had a high number of Jordan PEs. I would say that him, Ray Allen, and Mike Bibby probably have more Jordan PEs than anybody else, and that's a little known fact. But this is one that looks really close to that Quentin Richardson PE. Let's look at some of the details. So you start off here on the toe box. You do have a very stiff black leather. It does have that tumbling or that pebbling into the leather that you usually see on Jordan 13. So materials on this they're decent. They're not the best, they're not the worst, but they're decent materials. Moving on to the lateral side, you do have your paneling right here where you do have 3M reflective material. I'll give you guys some B-roll shots of how that looks. They actually shine pretty good when you hit them with the flash. Then down here, you do have a very thin, long hair. It's either suede or it's nubuck, or it might even be felt. I really can't tell if it's synthetic or not, but it is pretty long hair. You guys can see that in the camera. That is done in that Hyper Royal, and it does go all the way down to the midsole. So part of the midsole is actually wrapped in that suede. Same thing is on the Jordan 13 Flints. Then on the outsole, you do have your traction pattern and your pods. They are done in herringbone traction. With the outsole of Jordan 13s was actually made to look after a cat's paw. So that's kind of how it has this look to it, where like different points of the foot of the outsole. And you also do have your jewel logo right there. That is kind of reflected depending on how you look at it. It does have the Jumpman and number 23 in it. Moving on to the rear of the sneaker, you do have some more of that blue suede material there, and with some more of the paneling wrapping around the rear of the sneaker. Then onto the medial side, you do have some more of that paneling. There's also some more of a higher cut of that suede that goes up higher on the medial side of the sneaker. Now getting over to the tongue of the sneaker, this is also done in a very soft material that feels almost like it's suede, but I think that's definitely synthetic. You do have your Jordan tag down here at the toe of the tongue. And if you flip this over, you do have Roman numeral 13 on the tongue as well. These do have really thin rope laces on them. And these do have lacing system, whereas if you pull them up from the top, it does pull up the laces down at the bottom of them. At the top, you do have a Hyper Royal blue stitched in Jumpman there. That's a really nice touch. Let's look at the inside of the shoe. Take out the cardboard shoe tree, pretty standard in Jordans. I think this insole does come out. We'll find out here in a second. It does come out. It was glued in just a little bit, but this is how the insole looks. You do have a Hyper Royal Jumpman there at the base of the insole. On the bottom of the insole, you do have your glue marks there as well if you need to look these to help legit check any pairs that you're planning to pick up on the aftermarket. Now, some more details here on the outsole of the sneaker. You do have your carbon fiber point right there on the outsole. If you tap that, you can hear that it is actual carbon fiber. So that does make that little noise if you tap it. Then you also do have the white herringbone. You do have a more holographic type of Jumpman logo right there on the outsole of the sneaker as well. Yeah, so that's it for most of the major detailing about the Jordan 13 Hyper Royal. We've had a few Jordan 13s this year. We did have the Flint 13, which is, I mentioned before, my favorite Jordan colorway of all time. Then you also did have the Lucky Green 13s that released earlier this year. That was more similar to a Ray Allen type of PE. Now we're getting this one right here at the end of the year. And this is one that I think flew under the radar. They don't have a crazy resale price, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the video. But if you did want to grab these, here's a good look at them in case you guys were on the fence about picking these up. Now let's talk about sizing for Jordan 13s. Typically in most Jordan 13s, I would go either a half size down or a true to size. I think they do run a little bit more roomy than most other Jordans, and typically I like a more snug fit with my J's, because I do like to wear the laces a little bit loosened up. A more snug fit keeps them on my foot. So I always say the same thing in this one. I could have gone down to a size 8 in these, but I did get an 8.5. And I also usually do wear an extra insole in my J's to help preserve the stock insole that comes with them. So if you were looking to pick these up, I would say go true to size. They are a little bit of a heavier sneaker, but this is also one of the best Jordan models to hoop in. Just keep that in mind. So if you didn't want to grab these just for casual use, lifestyle wear, or to hoop in, this would be a good model to pick up. Colorway is really nice. It would show wear pretty well, but sizing wise, I would recommend going true to size. And last but not least, talk about the resale market for this sneaker. As I mentioned, I think that this was a pretty high stock general release of a Jordan, so they weren't very hard to grab at all. As I mentioned, I have multiple pairs of these that I got picked up for some friends via the reservations. And right now, if you want to grab these on StockX or GOAT, you can probably get these for very close to retail. So if you did want to grab these, if you passed on these because some other stuff did come out, or wait until after the holidays, you shouldn't have a hard time picking these up or paying too much more over resale. I think they're going somewhere like around, I'd say $220 to $230 depending on your size. They probably will go up a little bit more, but as with any Jordan retro sneaker, they always tend to go up more value over time. So if you don't want to grab these for either an investment or for personal use, I'd say grab them right now, because in about 6 months to a year, this might even end up being a $300 shoe, as with most Jordan retros typically are. That's going to do it for most of the major details about the Jordan 13 Hyper Royal. Let's go ahead and get these loosened up, get them on feet, and show you guys how they look. That's going to do it for my review of the Jordan 13 Hyper Royal. Let me know what you guys think about this Jordan 13 down in the comment section below. As I mentioned, there isn't much special about this one other than it resembling a player edition, Quentin Richardson from way back in the day. So if you didn't want to grab them to have something that looks like that in your collection, I would definitely understand that. But also, if you passed on these, I would understand it as well. As I mentioned before, there's been a lot of sneakers dropping so far in December of 2020, and you can probably circle back and grab these sometime in January. I wouldn't even be surprised if they had more restocks of these. So if you didn't pick them up just yet, hopefully this review gives you a good chance to look at them and make a decision whether or not you want to add this to your collection. That's going to do it. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll catch you guys on my next review. Peace.